Today's video is going to be a little bit of a different video than what I normally do. I'm looking to do something that's going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more challenging, and a little bit more of a discussion bringer to the table. Now, between me and my friends that play the game, we all have relatively differing opinions when it comes to certain Umas and their runs and their careers. For me, some Umas, I'll be like, oh man, this run is so difficult. I don't like this Uma. They're super moody. They're just not a fun Uma, whether it's their career, whatever it may be. I don't like them. And then I'll turn around and hear somebody be like, oh, that's funny because I really like their career. It's actually super chill. It's super easy, which begs the question, which Umas do you feel like are super easy run, are super fun runs, are relaxing runs, or are just super moody? Now for me, I will kind of go through the majority of the characters. I do have a lot of characters missing. One character in particular is Nanita Bryan. She's a character that I've learned has like a hard mode to her career, and I think that's super cool. I wish I could play it just to try it out like once or twice, and it's something that I would love to see in other characters, even though I don't believe that that will be a thing. So today we'll go through my characters, just kind of give you a little bit of a vibe check, if you will, on how I feel about all the characters, just for fun, nothing super serious. You know, you can call it a tier list, call it whatever, but just a super fun video, at least for me, and I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. Do y'all agree? Do you disagree? Or do you feel a different type of way about the Umas that I'm gonna go over today? We'll go from the bottom and work our way up. Matakane Fukukitaru, even though I love her name and it's super fun to say, rolls off the tongue very easily. I believe I've only ran one career, one career with Matakane Fukukitaru, and it was because somebody used Twitch points to redeem the run, and I was like, are you kidding me? This is one of the characters I don't run, I don't play. And while the run was unmemorable, to say the least, I don't believe that I had anything crazy about her. However, there is a reason why I don't play her often. It is what it is. Haru Urara is a character that I have 6 runs with, but the thing is those runs were super early into the game, so those were at a time when I didn't really know what I was doing. I was still trying to figure everything out. I was trying to, figure out the decks, trying to figure out the legacies and the sparks and all that good stuff. So Haru Urara, it is unfair for me to be like, oh, I like or dislike. However, one thing that I do know is that her special epithet is very difficult to get. I think it's like 500 or 550,000 fans, and she's a dirt racer, so good luck getting turf sparks, question mark. However, at the very least, big shout outs to Haru. I don't run her like that, but maybe one day I might do some more runs on her. Winning Ticket. Winning Ticket, man, what a story. I've done one run with her. Shout out to Sagster because that man paid for me to run Whining Ticket, more like it. There was a reason why I don't think I'll ever be revisiting if I can so help it. Now, if they use, if Sagster uses Twitch points or anybody else uses Twitch points, and, hey, go do a Winning Ticket run, what am I supposed to do about that? However, the one thing I will say is while her run felt relatively easy, oh my days, did all she do was cry. It was Whining Ticket the entire time, and that alone makes me just be like, no thanks, please. Let's just go to the next. King Halo is somebody that was a character that I did very early on, and a lot of the runs were very early on. However, I will say I really did enjoy the King Halo runs. She never felt super moody. She never felt like she had a difficult career. And it was someone that I may honestly have to revisit after not playing her for so long. I know that her unique is not the greatest unique that is available, but at the very least her run felt good, her careers felt good, and honestly just felt like a very super chill run for me. When it comes to Air Groove is the type of character who typically would be more so like a debut derby pick, whether it be on the wheel or just by pure chance. However, she was also an early run character, early game character for me, but she's still, I believe, on my Team Trials team, even though I haven't technically changed that since I made them. And I still hold Class 6, so I'll take that. But Air Groove was a type of run that didn't feel very memorable. Nothing difficult, nothing crazy, nothing moody. So it wasn't that bad for me. Now, maybe if I do more runs, maybe I might see that. However, we big chillin'. Nice Nature is a character that it's so funny. I see people having difficulties with the debuffer runs, and it's like, yo, how am I supposed to complete this if I barely hit speed? I have all these whack cards, and then I'm running mainly after wit. And to that, I just say hit power a couple more times, and that's what I do. You know, I have super, relatively low speaking, stamina, and then relatively low speed, pick up the debuffs, get a couple power hits, and then I just somehow win all the runs. Her runs, funnily enough, have not really given me that much trouble, just building her as a debuffer. She was never moody, she never really had any difficulties winning her races for me. And so, Nice Nature, I know, is one that's like, yo, the debuff runs are difficult. And I'm like, over here like, yo, the debuff runs are pretty easy and pretty chill for me. And so I don't mind the Nice Nature runs. Sakura Bakushin O, come on now. Let's just be real. Probably one of the easiest runs that you're gonna have. Hit speed, call it a day, GG. Mainly sprints, maybe, you know, whatever else a little mixed into her run as well. But super easy. Like, if there was ever a time for a new player to just be like, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I maybe want to try a run or two. Who should I run? This has got to be probably the easiest character to run. Hit speed, maybe hit power, maybe hit stamina once or twice, and then hit wit, profit. Literally. Super, super easy. Mayano Top Gun, aka the bane of my existence. She is the type of character where, at least for me personally, super moody, doesn't ever want to race, never wins her careers, doesn't ever turn around and actually win the optional races. Like, I don't know how people run her. Genuinely, like, so frustrating on her runs, and I'm just like, and the crazy thing was, it wasn't even for aces. I wasn't even trying to make her an ace. I was just trying to do her as a parent. I just needed her to give me sparks. She didn't give me the sparks that I wanted. The sparks that she did get were terrible, and she lost me so many runs and clocks. And dude, it was, oh, dude, oh, Mayano Top Gun, just, no, I do not like the Mayano Top Gun runs. Now, when it comes to the Mejiro Ryan runs, very oddly enough, this was a character that I had 0 runs on previously, and then somebody bought a run for me with the Twitch points, and they were like, yeah, Mejiro Ryan run, and I was like, oh no, I have no idea what I'm doing. And so, as I ran the career, it wasn't anything that was super crazy, that was super moody or anything. It just felt like a smooth run. And as I went through the run, I was like, okay, wasn't too bad. And then it came to the point where I was like, oh, I need to use her unique for, like, Vodka. And I was like, okay, I think I could do a couple runs just to see what happens for fun. And then I found myself doing Mejiro Ryan runs, and I was like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? And so it was actually so funny because I do like the run. It does feel really smooth. So, I mean, I got no complaints. I got no complaints when it comes to Mejiro Ryan. Vodka. Let me tell you something. The Vodka runs, I have no complaints on as well. I will say that her runs I would use as ace runs. So I wasn't too focused on fans. Wasn't too focused on anything in particular. Just getting those stats. And during those times, the RNG did feel like it was in my favor. And I think she is actually the holder of my highest scenario rating at like 12,300, 500, somewhere in that range. And she also has pulled out a lot of dubs for me in CM3, so I got no complaints about her. I really like the Vodka runs. The biggest thing I think for me is like, we go here and do this type of run, and then this one, and then this one, and it's like, come on, hold up, let's just make up our mind first, please. But, you know, no complaints here. Solid run, I'll take it. Dubs on Vodka all around. Don't get me started on Smart Falcon. Do not get me started on Smart Falcon. When I first ran her, okay, first off, I got her off of singles when I was doing singles for Saving Sky. Secondly, I was like, dude, I'm kind of sad that I got her. Third, a big emotional roller coaster. As time progressed, I was like, hold on, she's kind of cooking right now. And then it got to the point to where I was like, okay, these first couple runs, I was so irritated with. I was like, okay, dude, where am I supposed to get your optional race in for like certain cities? And then I was like, okay, this is like really annoying now. And as time progressed, I was like, you know what? I know it's just my unfamiliarity with the run. And as I started stacking on more runs, I was like, yo, why do I kind of like the Smart Falcon runs? And so once I got accustomed to it and learned the flow of her run, it felt relatively good to me. And so I was actually really happy with her runs after I got used to it. Silent Suzuka, let me tell you, I love Silent Suzuka, the character. Love her in the anime. But holy smokes, her career feels so troll. And what I mean by that is the races that she takes just are put at such odd times that it makes me like always have to like double, triple, quadruple check where her races are at and where her fans are at, because all of a sudden I'm running Silent Suzuka and then boop, it's now senior year and I got like 40,000 fans. What do you mean? What do you actually mean? Now, I get it. A part of that is going to be the problem with my support cards not landing where they're supposed to go, so that way I can do more optional runs, and I'm having to hit stats way too many times. I get that, but her career path just does not feel fun. And so while she is a cool character, love her from the anime, her career run, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not about it. Not about it. Get her out of here. Taiki Shuttle is such a weird one because I know she's necessary and her career should be easy. But oh my days, there are some times where she just does not run. And I'm like, why? Like, it'll be ace runs and maybe I want to aim for something and she just doesn't hit stem. Maybe she just doesn't hit anything in particular. Sometimes she just has these super crazy mood swings with me. And I'm like, Taiki, you my girl. We chilling. What's going on here, man? And then she turns around and just nothing. And I'm like, okay. And so while I want to like the Taiki runs, we have like a very on-off day with each other. And it's like, I don't know. Grass Wonder is super middle of the pack for me. I feel like it's a very hit or miss. She either does very well in her runs, or her runs are always getting second or third place. And then we turn around and I'm just like struggling to get the stats. I'm struggling to make sure she passes her career. And then it's like, come on, man. I'm trying. And it's not even necessarily that it's going to be like a parent run or an ace run. It's just like, yo, some of these runs I'm just trying to complete, man. And so Grass Wonder feels super troll. However, I don't think it is a terrible run. I do think it's a relatively smooth run. It's just me and her, hey, we not on the same page. We in the same book, but just not on the same page. Gold Ship. Oh man, Gold Ship. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't even care about the randomness of where she locks you out of doing the training. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is it's so silly because I know it's her character. She'll come up and like sometimes I may have to like do something on the side, and then I have play with the voices on sometimes, and I just hear Goldship yelling the entire time, and I'm like, alright, bruh, I'm finna turn the voices off. And then it's like I turn it off and I'm just like, okay, now I can actually relax and chill. Her run though, as long as it gives me some kind of help, feels okay. But playing that end closer, sometimes you just hit that skip on the race and then you turn around and you're like 8th place and it's like, what happened? I have all these crazy stats. What do you mean? What happened, bro? And so Gold Ship, I think that's just a personal thing. I'm not a fan of Gold Ship. Agnes Tachyon, I actually do like her run. The only thing that is super troll is she's so moody. I don't care. She is so unbelievably moody before the Satsuki show. Because, you know, you gotta have, or whatever, whichever one it is, it's like you gotta have a certain mood. It's like good or great. And then you turn around and it's like, if you don't have that, she changes the path, and then it forces you into an auto lose. And I'm like, nah, fam. Nah, fam. I'm finna fight you, fam. What you talking about? And so, while I do like her run after the Satsuki show, the before, it's so moody, and I just cannot. I just cannot. But she is a pace chaser, and you know how it is. I am one with the pace. Speaking of one with the pace, go ahead and give me that Super Creep. If you know, you know. On the 97, she popped off in this week's, I guess technically the second week of season 2 or second core, whatever you want to word it. But she did pop off. Super Creep, super cool. I really like her runs. It is funny to me because a lot of people will be like, oh, so you don't mind playing with a -3 or -5% on the under the weather condition? To which I say, no, I do not mind one bit. Because, you know, as long as you win later, I think it's the Kika show maybe, as long as you win that, you get that boost to the percentage. So to me, totally fair trade-off. And for me in particular, her runs are so super nice. I really enjoy them. I like her career path. Everything feels relatively easy. No complaints for me with the Super Creep. El Condor Pasa, aka the person whose stonks are continually and always on the rise and have never dipped down one time. You get in on the buy and you ride the wave. El Condor Pasa, while she is relatively loud with the voices, and that does get a little annoying, you know what I'm saying? However, the Pasa stonks are always on the rise. I actually really do like the character. The run is okay. She's not really moody at all for me, and honestly, she's been carrying my CM3. I got no complaints whatsoever. I rock with the El Condor Pasa. Mejiro McQueen and I go way back because there was a point in time where I was trying to craft the perfect parents, get the 9 stars, get the 9-star blues, and she and I, we were button heads a lot. It got to the point where I was like, I'm just not getting 3-star blues. I can't even make a 6-star. I can't even make a whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. And so I stopped running her as a parent because those runs were horrendous. Those were probably some of the worst runs that I've had, where it would be back to back to back to back, like Slacker, into the Night Owl, into the migraines, into the you just lose every race, into the we ain't getting no stats, into we gonna drop 5 moods. Like, what are we talking about here? So while she and I did have, you know, those butting of heads, we did come around and say, hey, now that we're making you as an ace rather than a parent, we big chillin'. And she actually carried my CM2, so I gotta put some respect on her name. You know, I gotta put some respect on her name. Daiwa Scarlet is only here for fan runs. Now, she, I believe, was either my first or second 3-star blue ever. However, she's just now here for fan runs. I don't really use her for aces at all. Not really too worried if she hits a crazy spark. If it hits cool, but she's one of the characters that I use for the fan run. 800k minimum. I've gotten so super close to hitting the 1 mil on her. I think I hit like 970s on one of her runs, but when I'm doing the fan runs, very easy, very not even work. Very easy run. When it comes to Tokai Teio, y'all know me. I love Tokai Teio. So cool. Love her from the anime. My biggest problem, very funnily enough, is her career path. It feels the same way with Silent Suzuka. Not in the sense of we get to senior year and you have no fans. It's you take a lot of the important races and I don't get to use like the crappy races and then use the important ones as optional. I get the important ones as the mains and then I gotta take the less important ones as the optional, and it's like, man, I can't get the stats with you. It feels so super weird. And then having the 20 speed 10 stamina is like very just awkward feeling. And so while at the end of the day, I still like Teio, like her from the anime, like her as a character, love her unique. It's just so super weird, her career. It's hard for me to say unbiased. I can't even say it unbiased, because I know I'm gonna tell you I like Teio, but her career path is just so odd. It just feels so weird to me. Oguri Cap, one of the characters that before I got the fan tech, I was using her as the run to just get me the fan. She could do any type of race for the most part, and she can cook. However, she still is moody for me. I am fighting tooth and nail. I feel like I'm one of them chefs in the kitchen from Kasumatsu that's turning around and it's like, hey, we trying to cook up in the kitchen. What you mean? I'm on my 5th round and she ate everything already? What you talking about? What you talking about, man? Like, slow down. Give me a break. I'm trying, you know? And it's like, you didn't feed me my 37th plate of food? Well, gonna double mood down and I'm gonna hit you with a migraine. What you talking about? Why? Aside of that, though, if we ever get to the point where I can keep her continuously fed, then the run feels smooth. However, it's so odd because she does feel like just randomly we gonna throw a race. Why? Why? You have crazy stats. Come on now. Help me now. But Oguri Cap, for the most part, decent run. I have no complaints for the most part. Now, Maruzensky, let me tell you, you would never be here. You would never be here. However, you are the one character that I've gotten 1 million fans on, and the fan run, the fan tech here is relatively easy. However, we not gonna sit here and act like some of them runs is easy, because I did a race with her and got 18th place out of 18 people. Had good stats, had some skills, and I lost to somebody that had like under 200 stats on everything, and I had like over 300 on the big 3. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And you can't say I late started because I at least had to focus. So, I mean, I don't know. But aside of all that, for what I use her for, which is fan runs, relatively easy. She does get the race down a lot. I am throwing 3, 4, 5 races in a row. That's totally fair. I'll give you that. Have I used her for an ace run? Don't really think I have. That would have been super early. And then as far as parent runs, I mean, her affinity is horrendous, so do with that information what you will. If I hit a decent spark on her, then sure. Otherwise, I ain't worried about her. Now, when it comes to special week, we have a very like, oh, that's my bad. Oh no, that's on you. Oh no, that's my bad. And we're almost like in sync with one another. You know what I'm saying? Special week and we have had so many runs together. She was gonna be one of the parents for my Tokai Teio at the very beginning. Never hit a crazy 3-star on her. Super unfortunate. And when I say crazy, I just mean a 3-star blue. Never got it. It is what it is. 83 career runs. But she did feel relatively good. I can't say that I disliked her runs because she wasn't moody. She would show up to the races and she would typically get 1st or 2nd. So I can't be too super peeved about that. And then on top of that, I mean, at the end of the day, especially, you know, we was getting wins. We was getting dubs. The career was good. The optional races were solid. No complaints from me with Special Week. I have heard, however, that some people just refuse to win with her. And it is what it is. Like, being Special Week, we chilling, so I got no complaints on her. And then last but not least, at least from my pool of characters, Symboli Rudolf with the 64. Now, she and I, we go way back. She was going to be the other parent for that Tokai Teio. The problem that came about was it was no blues again. No 3-star blues. But her races felt really good. Her careers felt really good. I would typically get the good epithets. I'd typically get very decent fans. And then turn around and just have a fun run. You know, she would be one of the characters that I could be like, okay, you know what? I want to have a decent run. Maybe not a relaxing run, but just give me a decent run. Symboli Rudolf definitely carried those for me. And I know people be hating on the jokes, but hey, sometimes you just gotta accept it. You just gotta accept it, and Symboli Rudolf definitely was popping off for me. And that rounds out my list of how I feel about all these characters. Now, do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comment sections below. If you take a look at the characters that I don't have, I am actually missing quite a bit. I will say one person in particular I'm happy I never got was Rice Shower, because oh my days, the amount of people that have told me, literally, she's just a mood down generator. I'm super glad that I never got her. One character that I do wish that I did get would have been that Narita Brian, just because I want to try the hard mode, and I would have loved to have gotten the Fantasy Grass Wonder or the Fantasy El Condor Pasa. Either one of those would have been super cool with me, but it is what it is. So let me know, do you agree with this down below? Do you have somebody that's super moody, or do you have somebody that's super not fun run compared to what I listed, or do you feel the same? Let me know down in the comment sections below. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as that helps me tremendously. And while you're down there, if you're on mobile, please be sure to hit that hype button, as that helps a lot as well. I also want to give a massive shout out to the current channel members. Thank y'all so much for supporting me and my channel. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much. And last but not least, be sure to share this video with your friends, with your family, and with your friends' family, so that way we can have a nice little area to talk about all the different Umas, their runs, how we feel about them, and just because I kind of want to see what y'all have to say about their career runs as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!